In the quiet city of Gary, Indiana, something unholy was waiting behind the doors of a seemingly ordinary home. In 2011, a terrifying series of events would begin that would shock the nation and baffle police officers, doctors, and even priests. This wasn't a horror movie plot. It was all too real. At the center of it all stood a house on Carolina Street, where a mother and her 3 children were tormented by forces no one could explain. Latoya Ammons moved into the house with her mother and 3 children. She hoped this would be the start of a peaceful chapter, but within days the strange occurrences began. Black flies swarmed their screened-in porch in the dead of winter. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed through empty rooms. Shadowy figures roamed at night. Something dark had claimed the house, and it wasn't hiding for long. It wasn't long before fear turned into something much worse. During a sleepover, one of the children began levitating above their bed, witnessed by horrified guests. The youngest began speaking to something invisible in the basement. The oldest boy growled in a voice that wasn't his own. Doors slammed, objects moved, and every room seemed to breathe with malevolence. The family reached out for help, but what they found only deepened the nightmare. The family's cries for help reached hospitals, social workers, and the police. Doctors were confused. A Child Protective Services caseworker would later report seeing the youngest child walk backwards up a wall, then flip over his grandmother and land on his feet. One officer's body cam shut down inside the house. Radios would go dead without explanation. Whatever was happening, it didn't just target the family, it lashed out at anyone who entered. Father Michael Maginot, a local Catholic priest, was brought in to investigate. After witnessing events he could not explain, he determined the house was infested by demons. He consulted with the diocese, who shockingly gave permission to perform a series of exorcisms, a rare act in modern times. Latoya underwent 3 exorcisms. During one, her eyes rolled back and her body convulsed violently. Her voice changed, speaking in deep, guttural tones. The children were removed from the home for safety, but even in their new locations, the paranormal disturbances followed. Something had attached to them. News of the demon house spread rapidly. Media outlets rushed to cover the story. Some called it a hoax. Others called it mass delusion. But the mountain of police reports, medical records, and witness testimonies painted a different picture. People who mocked the case often left the house disturbed or even physically ill. In 2014, Zak Bagans, host of the show Ghost Adventures, purchased the home to film a documentary. What happened next stunned even him. Crew members grew violently ill. A cameraman quit and refused to return. One even claimed to be possessed. Zak eventually wore glasses to shield his eyes after claiming the house damaged his vision. In 2016, after completing his documentary, Zak made a final decision. The house had to be destroyed. He feared it could hurt others. The house was torn down. But believers say the evil remains. In the earth, in the memories, in the lives it shattered. To this day, people debate whether the demon house was real or mass hysteria, but for those who entered it, there is no doubt. Evil does not always hide in dark forests or ancient ruins. Sometimes it lives in a small home on a quiet street, waiting for a new family to welcome it in.